Before we have a discussion of public speaking and let me do a little bit of housekeeping chores here and let you know that at times in this video, if there's too much information for you to digest, just press the pause button and that will give you an opportunity to stop the video so that you can then in turn digest some of the information on it. And then of course, when you're ready to go again, press the arrow to move it forward. In public speaking and you will notice that one of the biggest fear that an individual has is the fear of public speaking. In this concept of public speaking, when we get in front of a group of people or even on a small group or one-to-one situation, we have a tremendous fear of opening our mouths and talking and saying things that would normally come out. And that concept or that fear is called stage fright. Accordingly, researchers have found that stage fright, or the fear of speaking in public, is ranking high in regards to the fears that individuals have, probably not too far behind the fear of death or any other fear that an individual may have. But yet, public speaking in of itself is a very valuable concept or very valuable product that an individual needs because it impacts his daily life as well as in his school or at the job, and also how he fares as an individual in a democratic society. Now what happened here was that in the Western world, especially in the Greco situation, the Greeks and the Romans realized, hey, in order for us to really be a viable contributor to our society, we have to have the wherewithal to speak and talk to people. So the people who were in power would train rigorously these individuals who were coming up in succession to power and train them, and they would go so far as to hire tutors and trainers and teachers to really take them to the next level. At times, I'm sure many of us heard where many of the good public speakers were forced to hold and keep rocks in their mouth and talk with these rocks in their mouth. And you can see the rigors that these individuals had to go through in order to improve their articulation and the pronunciation. So that being said, public speaking is truly an important asset for an individual to have. And some of the benefits of public speaking is the fact it would allow him to organize his ideas and thoughts, write them down, and think of these ideas very critically by breaking them down and analyzing it. At the same time, that skill would allow the individual to do research and, more importantly, to listen to what others have to say. So once he's perfected these skills, then he develops a tremendous amount of self-confidence in himself, believing that I can do it. And he does do what he thinks he can do. But yet at the same time, there are risks in public speaking too, and the risk is communication apprehension, which is basically stage fright. Some of the terms that will be covered in this particular short session is adrenaline, which is the flow of chemical from the adrenal gland into the bloodstream, causing the heart to pump very quickly. Communication apprehension is a fear of participating in some form of communication with others, and especially in front of a large group. And of course, democracy is where people learn to control and govern themselves. Stage fright is communication apprehension. Now, the objectives here would be public speaking as it impacts the world. 3 methods of public speaking that can help you in this course. Predict the opportunities that you are likely to have. Another objective would be to explain some of the benefits of public speaking, and as well as describing communication apprehension and explain what causes it. Describe 2 methods of controlling communication apprehension. Public speaking is important because it gives you, the individual, the opportunity to improve yourself in front of a group of people, to show off, as you might want to say, to express yourself, to take people from one position to the other. And also involved in public speaking is the ability to inform, to entertain, to persuade individuals. And these assets, once you've gained them, will give you a tremendous heads up in terms of the opportunities in a job market. And it would bring you to the forefront of showing others that you are a leader in your field. But more so, as you progress inside of your society, you'll find that your ability to express yourself will lead your surroundings, especially in a democratic society, to a greater harmony and balance in the society. And of course, the benefits of this is the ability to put ideas together, organize it, to write them down, and to break these ideas down into different components and critically analyze these components as a public speaker. Now, needless to say, it would hone your research ability, the ability to find information, as well as, more importantly, to listen to what others are saying so that you can then in turn digest that information and present it again. But in doing so, this also develops your ability to be confident. You'll feel good about yourself. You can have this concept of, I can do it. Well, associated with public speaking are risks, and these risks is stage fright. The causes of stage fright is the fact that individuals, once they get in front of an audience, they feel that the audience is looking at them, focusing on them, and putting all the emphasis on them. If you think about it, if those people there were in your position, they would be in the same situation, because the scrutiny of their eyes upon you as a public speaker causes you to be really apprehensive and fearful of what they may think of you. But remember this: if you are compassionate and you feel for your audience and you have an important message that you need to send forward, then your communication apprehension will be lessened. Now, the next question obviously is, how do you control these fears? One being, you can practice your speech. You can have a compassion for your audience and the need to express yourself so that they will better themselves. So that being said, we will now try to conclude this by saying that communication in public speaking is very vital to an individual.